Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about if I had to start a business again from scratch at age 21, knowing what I know now at 26, how would I go about doing that? Now, I think this video is actually going to be a two-part series. In this part, I'm going to talk more of the higher level strategy stuff that can kind of let you see out over the future. And the second part, I thought it'd be really useful to kind of give you guys like literally a step-by-step of like the actual technical things you need to do, like buy domain name, set up an email and stuff like that. Because I've like speed run like building businesses before and getting customers really quickly. So I've kind of done it a lot. And I don't want to brag. Like I've started lots of businesses and like fucking 3 of them worked out. But I have a lot of repetition of the initial stages of like setting up your website and all that stuff and how to do it in the most time efficient way so that you do the 20% which will get you the 80% of returns. So, but firstly, this video is going to be the higher level strategy stuff. So maybe just subscribe if you want. I'm new to YouTube, obviously. And then I'll upload the second part and maybe, I don't know, a third part soon if I think that's needed. Cool. So there's 3 things I'm going to talk about in this video. The first one is get clear on your offer first. Now, I need to look this diagram up, and I'll probably put it up on the video screen, but there's a thing called Ikigai or Ikigai. Nice. But it's basically a quadruple intersection between what you're good at, what you can be paid for, what the world needs, and what we love. You need to pick something in the middle. I'll give you a good example. I was on a consulting call with some guy that wanted help with his e-commerce business. And at the start, he mentioned something like he's been trying to do it for like 2 years and then, or he started it 2 years ago and then he like kind of dropped off and got bored and he's trying to kickstart it again now. And I asked him like, why do you think you like just dropped off for 2 years? Were you like really busy? And he was like, no. And I was like, you wearing any jewelry right now? And he's like, no. I'm like, do you fucking care about jewelry? He said, no. And I go, do you think if you picked something that you actually really, really cared about, you would have given up or just abandoned it for 2 years? And I said, yeah, I think you've picked the wrong thing. I was like, I think you should pick something that you actually care about because you shouldn't need like a pep talk to like go to work every day. You should just be intrinsically motivated, like, fuck, I really enjoy doing this and just get to work. You should need a pep talk. But then also, you also need to make sure you can be paid for it. Like people need to need it or have at least a want for it. And you need to be good at it. Like you can't be selling personal training services if you've never gone to a fucking gym before. Like you need to be good at it. So pick something in the middle and you will never have to worry about, that's a lie. You'll worry about stuff, but you won't worry as much. Really great book I'd recommend is $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. I've read a lot of business books. A lot of them. And a lot of them are very, like, they all just say the same fucking thing. This was a really great read. Probably the first business book I've read in like 2 years that I actually like read again because I was like, fuck, this is really good. I also have a point here. Sell an expensive thing. I mean, like, I was in another consulting call with like 2 business owners that have been trying to do like a t-shirt business for years for like their pet dog. It was like their pet corgi or something like that. And I was like, well, how much money do you guys want to make? They're like, oh, like $1 million. And I'm like, okay, what's your profit margin on a t-shirt? They're like $7. I'm like, what's a million divided by 7? That's how many fucking t-shirts you need to sell. And that was their profit margin like before like paid advertising strategies. So if you can sell an expensive thing, it means you can afford to pay more to acquire a customer, which is going to segue well into when we get into marketing and sales because you want fairly large margins to deal with so you can have a scalable marketing and sales process in place. I also have a note here. It takes the same amount of effort to build a $100 million company as it does to start a little side hustle with t-shirts. So you may as well aim big. Now, some of you are going to misinterpret that by saying, like, no, it's not the same kind of thing. I understand where you're coming from, but the number of hours that you work in a week and the number of hours that someone, like the CEO of like a multi-million-dollar company works in a week, that's the same. The tasks are different. So you might as well just allocate your time to a really big goal. Anyway, take that with a grain of salt. I understand there's so many ways you can misinterpret that, but I hope that helps you. Principle number 2 is sell it before you build it. So your primary and only concerns at the start of your business should be marketing and sales, just getting customers. Here's a really good example I was talking about on another consulting call with one of my coaching clients, Brianna. And I gave this example of like Steve Madden, which is like a shoe company, I think. There's a clip on YouTube somewhere where what they do before they send out an order for 100,000 like version or copies of this shoe, they actually just build like one of them. They take it to a store, they put it on the shelves, and they just fucking wait. When someone comes over and picks up the shoe, they kind of sneak over and they listen to what do they say, what do they think of it, they ask them questions, and then when they buy it, they go up to them afterwards, I think, and they ask like, hey, why'd you buy this thing? And it's not until someone buys that, single prototype that they go off and make an order for 100,000, copies of this shoe. Because the market votes with its dollars, and until you get someone's dollars, you have 0 votes. The only evidence that the market wants your product is someone buying it. So until someone buys it, you don't have a product people want. That is a mistake that I have made plenty of fucking times. So I learned from my mistakes, so I don't have to repeat them. If you're wondering, well, how do I sell it before I build it? There's plenty of things you could do. You could do pre-sales if you're e-commerce. If you're service-based, you could do things like refundable deposits. And if you get to a point where you just aren't able to deliver on the thing, just refund everyone their money and apologize. Now, also under this point, you need a scalable system to get customers. Now, what do I mean by scalable? I mean, if you put X dollars in or X effort in, you get Y out. So I know, for example, every $550 that Where You spends on ads will get a client, and that client will be probably worth like $25,000 in their lifetime. So I know if I want to get 3 clients in a month, I just spend 3 times 550, thereabouts. If you're prospecting, it could be something like I send X emails to get Y replies, to get Z appointments booked, to get, what's the next letter? A, deals closed. Or if you're e-commerce, it's I spend $1 and I get $6 back in my return on ad spend. So scalable, it's like you can just increase a thing, you put your foot on the pedal and you get a reaction from the engine of your marketing and sales. Here's a little important side note. Try and get comfortable in front of a camera. We've just found that all of our clients when we put the business owner in front of a camera and they talk about their own product or service, those ads typically do a lot better than just like photo and image ads and things like that. Builds a lot more trust. Now, I know some of you are going to be uncomfortable on camera, but if you watch one of my other videos, discomfort is where you grow. So get uncomfortable. You're going to be bad the first time. It's like my first YouTube video. I'm like, I just accept it. I'm like, my first 50 YouTube videos aren't going to be very good. So I might as well just get them out of the way as fast as I can. Now, I'm sure I come across incredibly charismatic on camera. But if I go back to, me and Axon had a music marketing course that we used to sell like 4 or 5 years ago. And I rewatched some of the lectures that I found on my iPhone there. And holy fuck, it's so embarrassing. So you might as well start sooner and get better sooner. You're going to be bad at the start by default. So just try and do that. Try and get comfortable on camera. And you only learn by starting. Now, I have a side note here as well. It does create the problem of, well, what if I want to sell the business in the future? Because typically, investors, they won't buy a business where the income stream is very reliant on a personal brand. You don't even have a business to sell yet. You can fix that later. If something works, you might as well do it at the start, which is a terrific segue into my third and last point for this video, which is don't solve problems that don't exist. Now, this loops back well to the previous point, which was sell it before you build it, marketing and sales channel first. Because sometimes people wonder, well, how am I going to fulfill this thing? And what if I get too many orders? You don't have fucking any orders right now. Well, like one of the first things people, like I was guilty of this as well. One of the first things like business owners and entrepreneurs want to do is like get an office space when it's fucking just them. And then they make up some shit. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to focus better, or I'll get a co-working space. I'll be motivated by all these other entrepreneurs. If you need other people around you or a specific environment to be motivated to work in your business, you have picked the wrong business. You're solving a problem that doesn't exist, and that money is better invested into you getting more customers because you don't have any or you have very few right now. So don't solve problems that don't exist. Your problem right now from going from 0 to 1 million is get more customers. You need to build a scalable system in place so you put X dollars in, you get Y dollars out. Everything else is just, you can just fix it along the way. So those are my 3 main points. Have a really good offer, Ikigai, sell an expensive thing if you can, and just pick a big goal. It's going to take you the same number of hours anyway. Sell it before you build it. Just focus on marketing and sales, getting customers. Don't bother building the thing until someone has bought the thing from you, or at least promised to buy the thing from you. Actually, no, I'm going to correct myself there. Bought the thing from you. Dollars. Not, yeah, I'll take it. Dollars. Has to land in the bank account or it doesn't count. I also learned that the hard way. 3, don't solve problems that don't exist. You will have plenty of problems, so you'll be distracting yourself by solving ones that don't exist. Solve the ones that exist. I know this has all been very high level. In the next part to this video, I don't know if it's going to be the next video that I make or if there's going to be a couple more videos and then I'll do it. But the next video, I'm going to be talking really kind of tactical strategies of like, okay, first you go to this web page and do this, and next you go to this web page and do this. It's going to be very tactical, so that because often the hardest part is starting. You're like, well, where do I start? I will just show you, just do this and then do this and then do this and then do this. And then that will at least get the ball rolling and you can have some momentum rather than just like sitting around and not doing anything, because that's the easiest thing for you right now. So the next video in this series is going to be do this and then do this and do this, so you can get off the ball and you can actually have something. And then I think that'll be really useful as well. So, yeah, just subscribe. If you have any questions, chuck them in the comments. Like I said, I'm new on YouTube, so I do appreciate new subscribers. And if you comment, I'm definitely going to fucking reply because I don't have many comments to reply to. And have a nice day.